So it's been a pretty interesting day when it comes to ModRetro. I love their Chromatic. I've been loving their Chromatic. I just did a video the other day for the second edition, if you will, of the re-release of the Chromatic. They had the first editions with the sapphire screen, then they re-released them with sapphire or Gorilla Glass, and there's a few little tweaks behind them. They're still the same hardware. Don't get it twisted, but there's a few minor things. I think it's sweet that they're continuing to bring those out and release new games for the Game Boy Color and Game Boy and for the Chromatic. All the games are backwards compatible with original hardware and your Game Boy player for your GameCube, that kind of thing. So that's sweet. Or you can just buy the games, play them on your analog pocket if you don't want to buy a Chromatic or you don't have a original Game Boy or Game Boy Color. Choice is yours, but I really do dig what ModRetro is doing. Those Chromatics, they're freaking like premium quality, hardware. I think they're really neat. But the thing I've been really intrigued by is this thing, the M64. And as you see right here, earlier today, ModRetro is like M64 info soon, soon, right? And I was like, oh, I guess they're gonna announce something like maybe in the days coming. Well, it was kind of a tease, like they're kind of pulling the little tease, a tease for another tease type of thing. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. We do have a little bit more information, interesting information nonetheless. But Palmer Lucky here, the owner of ModRetro, put out this video. It was like I don't know what time was this at? 3 so like 3 hours later. 3 hours later. So let's watch this real quick. I don't know if the music's copyrighted or not, but just kind of teasing it. And I just noticed, like I watched this earlier. He does say that this is actually their hardware running this in this little teaser. Like, I don't know, is the quality like, yeah, it's just, that's the highest 720p. It's just kind of still a little fuzzy. Let me rewind a little bit. It's just the Twitter quality, X quality. But okay, so I noticed that, right? No peaking until Christmas. And it's just like a little cloth there, but you don't see anything. They're not showing the hardware yet. Just M64 early bird pricing, modretro.com M64. Okay. So they've already had um the M64 section on their website. But he states ModRetro's newest product is M64, the best and most authentic way to play your favorite N64 games, bar none. Prepare your wallet and brace your mind. Launches at the same price as the original N64. Inflation isn't nostalgic. What did the N64 launch at? I believe it was 250 in the US, something like that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me look it up real quick. Because I pre-ordered it. I remember the store still exists in, I believe it's Upland or Montclair, California, Upland, California. I pre-ordered at that M&M Games, and those goofy bastards, man. I gave them like $50, and then they're like, oh, because they had like a Japanese version of the system. They're playing Mario 64, and they wouldn't let anybody touch it. Friggin' bastards. I remember way back in the day, and I pre-ordered there. They're like, oh, we're taking pre-orders. We're gonna have them. And I gave him $50, and then, like, I would go in and check in every once in a while, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna need another $50, dude, to secure it." And I was like, "What the hell, dude? Like, I thought it was like, I give you $50, and then, like, when it's time to pick it up, I give you the rest of the money." Like, I was a lot younger at the time. I didn't have all the money up front, and I didn't have an extra $50. So I was like, "Dude, this is stupid." And I remember, um, what was the price? Like, I had to look it up. Did the price get announced at a certain point, at a price point, and then it, like, decreased? Or it got lowered? Because I remember going to Toys R Us, and they had pre-orders, and it was less than what these fools at this M&M Games were charging. So I was like, "Man, I'm just gonna pre-order at Toys R Us," which was right down the street, and tell these guys to eat a big fat one, give me my $50 back. And I had to argue with them, fight with them to get my money back. So they're asking for it was stupid, dude. But yeah, what was the launch price? That's okay, that's what I thought it was. Okay. So originally it intended to be $250, but then it was ultimately launched at 200. That okay, it's all coming back to me right now. That's what those fools were. They were like, it's 250. $50 deposit. And then they were like, we need another $50. It's going to be like 300 or something stupid like that. And then like Toys R Us are like $200, put down deposit to pre-order it. And these guys were still sticking at like, okay, well, it's going to be 250, I think. But they wanted an extra $50. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. But yeah, so then he goes on to state this is real gameplay on real hardware, Palmer Lucky, using our real core. I'm wondering if it's like their actual, if they made this core or if they licensed it from somebody else. Um, or if they like tweaked somebody else's core and they worked, I don't know. The most efficient and accurate re-implementation of the original by far. We show off the final design and launch pre-orders for hardware, new titles, and re-release classics pending final legal checks at ModRetro and at AMD. So AMD, their chipsets in this thing, apparently. Is that correct? Because why would he like copy AMD here? So if you go to the ModRetro site, and you go to the M64 page, you could, so this is what you want to do. Lock in early bird pricing by entering your email. Okay. Once you do that, you're going to get the early bird price. So if you don't do that, I guess you don't get the early bird price. But if you're an existing customer, like you bought something from them before, it says you'll be prioritized when ordering opens. So you click this. Holy crap, they got this techno music going on. They're playing this thing. Okay, 250. No, it's gonna be 199, dude. Early bird pricing, 199. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's what I'm talking about. 199. That's cheaper than analog, right? And then these fools, they're gonna be doing where they're re-releasing games. Possibly the way it sounded was like they're gonna like have new games, maybe? Are they actually gonna have people making new games for the Nintendo 64? But yeah, um, we'll have to see what they do because these guys, I don't think they're playing around like analog. I just think these guys are getting ready to actually launch this thing this year. At least, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. When you look at that video that Palmer Lucky posted and that little thing that says like don't open till Christmas, I don't think that means like, oh, we're gonna reveal everything by Christmas. Because he said they're just waiting until legal clears everything. And then they're gonna reveal stuff. I think that Christmas thing just means like it's coming out this year by holidays. Uh, Like that, it just kind of makes sense to me. I don't think they're gonna play around like analog. And analog, like I like their systems, man, but they be not supporting them. And I'm thinking this team here, the people behind all this, the actual people. There's a lot of people that work for ModRetro, and they've been keeping up on the Chromatic with these updates, the new features. Dude, being able to update the cartridges that they've released. There's been developers out there that have taken feedback from people and they've made tweaks to their games. Game Boy cartridges, you pop it into your Chromatic, ModRetro puts an update, you update it, and they've made tweaks to their games. They've fixed things, they've added things. That's freaking sweet, dude. Like the support that these guys have been putting behind the Chromatic. That's why I'm excited for the M64 because I think from what I've seen so far that they're just going to continue to support what they do and make it nonstop be perfect. I just have more faith in what they're doing than others, I think. I mean, it is what it is. I'm really excited for this thing. I'll put links down below if you want to jump on this, get your early bird pricing locked in. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.